Hiya, welcome back to the channel. So today we're on a Volkswagen Golf 2.0 TDI Mk6, and well, the problem that we've got with it is this: that there isn't reaching where it should be reaching. It's not maintaining temperature, it's not getting up to temperature properly. Occasionally actually it does reach the 90 and then drops back down just randomly, but it doesn't often get there, to be honest with you. So that's telling that the thermostat isn't working the way that it should, which is a bit of a pain in the arse because the thermostat is somewhere down there. So let's make an attempt at changing it. So first I'm going to take this off, which is probably the easiest thing I'm going to take off all day, and then we can see it a bit better. Well, we can see it a lot better, but it's still not very nice to get to. And before I start squeezing my hands in there and cutting them up trying to get it apart, let's have a look at what we've actually got to take out. So we've got on there is 2 bolts that holds the thermostat housing to the block. We've got a pipe going into the top of it, a pipe going into the front of it, and a pipe going into the bottom of it, a big pipe. And then we've got a bastard pipe, which I don't know if that is showing up, but underneath that pipe that goes into the top of it, you can see there's another pipe that slides into it, which is bolted on to the block down there. So I need to undo that and slide that pipe out of it before I can manoeuvre that shitter off the block. And the first thing in the way of getting to any of them pieces is this. So I need to take this unit off, which there's a Jubilee clip holding a boost hose to it, which I've just carefully undone. We've got a plug there, which squeeze that and it should unplug. Yes. And I'm hoping that this should pull off. Now I've undone that Jubilee clip down there just in case I need to twist it at the bottom, but let's just see. Quite tight actually, but with an amount of struggling that does come off. So now I'm ready to set this off. Now I have put a rag in there to stop anything falling in there because I don't really want anything to fall in there. We've got 3 T30s, so one there, one under there and one under there, which holds this to this, and then a 10mm which holds the dipstick tube to this as well, just to hold that still. So I'm going to get on with taking them off. I'm not really going to show it too well, but I'll just get on with it. Yes. One. Another one. And then 3. So this should just come off now, which it has done. And actually, it's not that dirty that I was expecting to be worse than that. So let's put that to one side. And now we can see and touch the thermostat even. But before I start undoing any of them bolts, I need to drain some coolant out of it, which means we've got to get underneath it and remove some of these, which I think the T20s, and there's about 12 million of them in total. So I'm going to get away taking them ones off, the ones along the front, the ones along the side, and then I'm hoping that this will peel down enough so I can get to the drain on the radiator. Yes. So now they took out, this can pull down nice and carefully, and if you look there, this is an auxiliary water pump, and this comes down from the thermostat, from the main pipe to the thermostat. So if I take that off, then it should drain the water out what is needed to be out. So that's what I'm going to do. Yes. Then open this, just let it drain even more faster. Yes. And then so now the water's drained out, we can start taking these pipes off. If you can see there, I've actually moved that clip off already. There's this one to get off, and there's one down there to get off as well. And they're all really good fun to get to. So I'm probably going to do them off camera because you're not going to be able to see anything anyway. So I'm going to carry on with that and I'll come back when they're off. Yes, that's 2 of them off. I've still got that shitter down there to get off. And as anticipated, they are a pain in the balls. Yes. So now all them pipes are off. I need to get them bolts out there and that bolt there, which is an 8mm multi-spline or triple square. So I need to carefully get this out without dropping it. And I would advise having a magnet on hand, so when it comes out like this, you can catch it with a magnet if the socket doesn't hold it nice and tight. But mine's held it, so I didn't need to. And then now that's out, I need to lever this pipe across. So can you see anything what I'm doing? Basically that hard pipe, that plastic pipe that runs along the front of the block that you've just took the screw out for, needs to be pulled to the right. I'm just using a screwdriver. And then that will hopefully pull it out of the side of the thermostat. So mine has moved a bit, not much, but it's moved a bit. So now I'm going to try and take them 2 screws out there, them 2 10mm bolts, which look like everything that I've done on this so far, loads of fun. And I have actually managed to crack that off with a 10mm swivel socket. Yes. Yes. And the top one can be removed using more conventional tactics. And now with all the bolts removed, I was hopeful that the thermostat was just going to pull out, but it didn't. I've had to put a screwdriver in it and lever it out because it was very tight into the block. But now it should just come out, I hope. And with an amount of manipulation later, I've managed to get it off the block, get it off that pipe that goes across. I've had to put that screwdriver back in there and sort of lever the pipe that way at the same time as struggling with the thermostat. And now this is in the way, which I didn't want to take out because I knew water was going to drop down, or coolant was going to drop down when I was taking this off. I didn't want it to end up in the sun, but it looks like I might have to set that off. And I'm hoping that it's just held on with this little clip here, which I'm just going to carefully and lovingly remove. And then it just pulls out the bottom, and then you can twist it to the side, and then hopefully the thermostat will lift it out of this gap here. And it still doesn't really want to fit that well, but I think it will go. Yes. And then I've got to put this one where that one come from. This is in fact a genuine one because I didn't really want to do this job twice, to be honest with you. So I'm going to clean that face up there where it fits into. New O-ring on there which goes into there. And then I'm going to put this back together, and I'm going to do it off camera because one, you're not really going to be able to see what I'm doing because it's going, well, it's winter, so it's like past about dinner time now, so it's going dark. And 2, I need to get a move on with it. So I'll come back when that's fitted, and then I'm going to bleed the shitter up. And now we have reached that point. Everything's back together. All the hoses and shit are back on. Right load of struggling. Keep some money for the swear jar if you're going to do this. I had to replace that clip there with a Jubilee clip because it was damaged from taking it off. So now I've got to fill it up and bleed it, which is as simple as this is red coolant, 50-50, and just pour it in until it's full. Yes. And make sure it's not all pouring out the bottom anywhere, which it doesn't appear to be doing yet. And then when it is full, this is supposed to be, from what I've read, a self-bleeding system, so let's see if it works. By starting the car up and then putting everything to hot, and after a couple of minutes of idling, I'm getting a bit of heat coming out the heaters, which is a good sign. Yes. So now the temperature gauge is moving, which is also a good sign. Yes. So now it is in fact up to temperature. The coolant is at about the right level, and we'll put that back on, and that should be pretty much job done. Keep an eye on the coolant level. You might have to top it up again as it moves through a little bit more, but you shouldn't have to, but you might have to. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual shit, and I'll see you next time.